Hello, my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading where I'll be looking at New Year's blessings. So I do have another reading which was about the outlook for the coming year, and this is mainly focused on the blessings that you're going to be receiving in the new year. Now, this is a timeless reading, but I am doing it at the moment in 2022 for 2023. But it can be used at any time when you find this reading. So three cards to choose from. You've got pile 1 with victory. You've got pile 2 with surrender to receive. And then you've got pile 3 with small steps and big accomplishments. So we've got victory, pile 1. Pile 2, surrender to receive. And pile 3, small steps, big accomplishments. Timestamps will be in the description box below, my loves, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. I hope that you are well, and this is kind of my New Year's present to you. And thank you for all of your support. But look at this. I love this. Not only gaining a higher perspective, but also reveling in the kind of successes that you have been working on, or the success that is coming to you. The crown isn't directly onto the falcon's head, but it's almost like the foresight and the outlook that you have been wanting to project, or hoping that you are projecting, is actually really building a strong, solid foundation for you to kind of fly from. And it's interesting because even though the falcon is perched on the stick is temporary. You can see that the stick is something that's not really that sturdy. So it's all about just having a look what the outside is, looking at what's going on, and then being able to build something. So it seems like you've been working on some things that have, you may be wondering whether or not it actually is going to have some kind of result. And what this is saying is, yes, it really is. Possibly even bigger than you thought it was going to be. But it's almost like your meticulous planning or your strategy has been working. For those of you who haven't been working on anything, maybe it's been your plans to move out into a situation, and how you can actually move into that space. And what this card is telling you is that this is a good, stable mindset to launch off of, basically. That's what I'm getting from that card, and particularly with the number 4 that's there. So let's just have a look at some archetypes for you. Okay, so we've got 2 here. We've got the archer and we've got the pilgrim. So there's this sense of humility in the respect of devoting yourself to a cause that is greater than yourself, but then also being so meticulous in your precision that you know how to aim for a target and hit it. And it's interesting, we have bird claws here, and the bird claws are quite prominent here in this picture. So there's something about you being able to grip on tightly to what what the strong things are within yourself, but then also you kind of have that flight of the arrow and also of the bird. It's strong yet resilient. That's what I'm kind of getting from this. With the pilgrim, it's almost like remembering your why. Remembering why you're doing this, remembering why you want to move out of this situation, why you want to move towards something better for yourself. Because I do get this from you, Pile 1, that you're looking out onto the horizon with your bow kind of taunt with the arrow pulled back, and you're ready to aim into something that's really going to make you feel a lot better about yourself and a lot better about your life. Something that's going to give you a lot more freedom, but not only freedom, more fulfillment. It's almost like you're doing this to find the light within, to find what the truth is within. Beautiful. Nice start, Pile 1. I like it. Okay, let's have a look at some solar energy for you. Blessings, New Year's blessings for pile 1. That's too many. New Year's blessings for pile 1. New Year's blessings for pile 1. Okay, discrimination, which is Virgo, and so we have Virgo and Venus. And it's also 6 reverse. Discrimination is knowing the difference between things, understanding the difference, putting things into categories, and setting up boundaries, I kind of see with that discrimination card. And with that Venus in Virgo, it's almost like that passionate kind of, that passionate way of being able to be quite clear about what you're doing can sometimes come off as ostracizing and also separating in a way. So what that means is there's this sense of you being able to, or like, bring it back. There's this kind of sense of integration that needs to take place in order for you to kind of see the bigger picture, I think. It's interesting how we've got these colours here on this butterfly here, and they match with this victory here. So it's almost like seeing the whole colours of the rainbow rather than seeing just the filter of what we're used to seeing. If we're going to be exploring new boundaries, new territories, I mean, I get a very 3 of Wands kind of vibe from this. And also with the pilgrim goes to another place in order to expand their horizons, expand their belief systems, gain enlightenment. So with that in mind, a discriminatory attitude is useful for safety of oneself and for being and for understanding your own values. But sometimes, you know, don't expect to go into a place where you think that you can just employ your rules like you were without having to consider other people that might be in the situation. And that goes on a micro and a macro level. You know, it could be as simple as you going to a friend's house and then you see that they do certain things in a certain way. And, you know, I'm guilty of this. Like, you know, you're like, oh, right, okay, they do things this way. And that's the way they do them. And, you know, that's what you've got to kind of, you know, it may not be the best way. You could always suggest stuff. That's the Virgo in me. Suggest stuff to kind of like improve it. But if they decide not to take it on, that's their business. And that's that sense of discrimination, you know, trying to make people see the our point of view and that our point of view is right. You know, it doesn't necessarily work that way. So that's what I'm getting from there. So there's a little bit of like, even though we've got this razor sharp and very intent gaze that is occurring with this victory card, and also this aim, there's a loosening. There's something to relax into, to allow yourself to become part of the divine, and not allow yourself to be so overtaken. It's finding that balance. Really interesting. Okay, let's get you some animal totems from the Spirit Animal deck. Blessings for my part. Woo! Okay, you got 2. I love that. So you got the Phoenix and the Buffalo. Wow. Pile 1. That's amazing. Look at your blessings. So I don't know, Pile 1. I feel like you've been through some stuff. You've been through some, like, it's not been the best of years, maybe. This year it's been quite challenging, maybe having to recover after what's been going on over the last couple of years, and then now getting back on track. The world's coming back, finally awakening a bit more over the last 2 years. So it's just interesting, and there's something about you arising, but also, as I said before, there's this sense of you establishing some kind of stability, something that's a lot more stable than what you had before. Basically, with that buffalo, I'm getting that sense of rootedness, groundedness, One thing about the buffalo is that the buffalo heads into the storm. It doesn't go away from it. It heads into it, and the phoenix rises from the ashes. So both come from a place of like deep adversity. We have earth and we also have spirit. So there's something about you being really grounded, and you establishing groundedness. And what you've been through has made you establish through groundedness and being grounded. And then with the phoenix rising, and also we've got this kind of like the archer, we've also got the butterflies here, these kind of totems and medicine of rising above the situation and being able to take a higher road, take a higher perspective, take something that's going to elevate your consciousness and also your vibration. What that means is that you are essentially allowing, you're not allowing the mundane things to really get you down, to wear you down, the daily grind of life or things like that. You're actually seeing about long-term goals. So it seems like your aptitude for perspective is increasing. That's the blessing for 2023, I think. That's what I'm feeling, like the main blessing. I'm going to pick you some plants. Interesting, I haven't done astrology. I'm just going by the seat of my pants. Here. Okay, how far across is that? Okay. Because it's New Year's, why not give you all the cards that come out? As many as I can anyway, so I'll do my best. Part 1. Let me just adjust this and I'll get back to you. Okay, so we've got cannabis. And we have ivy. Okay, so it's really interesting how we have the whole grounded aspect here that just about squeezes in. That's my limit. Right, okay, so what I'm getting here is that this year is about you learning how to let go and how to find the playfulness and the creativity in life, but also be able to remain grounded, because there's something that's going on here that you're not able to do the two at the moment. And it's interesting because you've got these upright, but this is reversed. So it seems to me that there is some kind of belief system that's causing you not to be as free as you think that you might be. Do you know what I mean? I just got a vision of the falcon, and or the bird of prey, and when it's got the mask over its head and it's being held by I don't know what they're called, the flight keeper, the eagle keeper, I don't know what they're called. The falconer, I don't know, there's a name for it. If you know what it is, please let me know. But anyway, I just got the image of that. So rather than having the crown on its head and having that kind of like freedom of flight, there's this kind of restriction that's going on, and that can be alleviated by the medicine of cannabis and ivy as well. So with the medicine of cannabis, the story behind this, or the meaning behind this card, is being able to allow yourself to be free. Allow yourself to believe in things that you may not have believed before. Allow yourself to kind of go off into a space where you're just completely relaxed and your boundaries are like not so strong. Now, that doesn't mean that you compromise yourself so much in a way that you harm yourself. It's more to do with the fact that you are open to new ideas. Because with that discrimination reversed, that kind of makes sense. You kind of become a little bit too overprotective, a little bit too much. I kind of feel like, I don't know, I just feel like almost like Capricornian energy, and we do have Saturn here, so it's that Capricornian energy when they're really quite meticulous and they want things to be a certain way. You can also get that with Virgo as well, and also with Taurus. It's mainly with the earth signs, like they want things a certain way, and it's an element of control. But definitely, yeah, I do know a few Virgos that like to induce control. But what cannabis does is kind of really, take that away. It kind of kind of makes it softer and allows you to dissolve those boundaries. And also, obviously, you know, I'm not endorsing that you go and smoke that, but or take it however you do. It's more the medicine of the idea of the plant and what it does. So it's more about you being able to be open to things, basically, because the ivy not being grounded in the earth and also in the sky, because it reaches up to the sky, but then it's also grounded in the earth. It's always climbing up, and there's something here that's not, which is stopping you. It's interesting, we've got 6 here, 6 here, so I think that these two are definitely related to you opening up. And then also we've got a 5 and a 4. So 5, 4 and 2 6s. Sorry, 4, 5 and 2 6s. So that's definitely an indication for you to move towards. You're moving along the path, but there's something about your own sense of discrimination that's hindering you, that needs to be alleviated, needs to be worked on, let's say. And just like the ivy crawls up slowly up the like whatever it is, wall, fence, whatever it is, tree that it's crawling up, you can use the medicine of cannabis to take your time to kind of slowly unknot yourself from the tightness of the discrimination that may be happening here. So yeah, anyway, let me have a look at some astrology for you. I might, my friends, just put that like that, just to get a little bit more room. Astrology for pole 1. Blessings for pole 1. Blessings. You've got 2. I'll take them. Why not? If I can fit it. So we've got 10th house, the world, which is reversed. Yeah, you got room. And then you've got Gemini, I think. Interesting. Which is also reversed, another 6. So there's definitely something about mindset that's going on, and also maybe the way that you're communicating with other people, and how you are communicating with other people. You may need to chill out, quite literally, chill out about things. It seems like there's a real intensity with you, pile 1, and it seems like you might need to just relax a bit. The medicine of cannabis is very strong, so I'm just, you know, and the medicine of ivy is very strong as well, and it's just because it's in that detriment, but because we've got the world, this sense of stability that you're like seeking. And it's interesting, we've got 3 6s, and then we've got a 4, we've got a 5, we've got 3 6s, and then we've got a 7. So there's a definite progression here. This is definitely like a lesson for you to learn. Probably a work in progress that you've had since since 2022. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Blessings for my pile 2, please. I'm sorry, for my pile 1. That's the few times that I said pile 2. Sorry about that. Blessings for pile 1. Blessings for pile 1 in the new year. Coming in the new year for pile 1. Let's have a look. Blessings for pile 1. Okay. So we have the 5 of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. The 8 of Cups reversed, the Queen of Wands, so Page of Wands and Queen of Wands, and then we have the 6 of Cups. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you're finding, you're knowing what doesn't work. There are some things that you're not able to walk away from completely, because I think you've still got some kind of like tie to it, which is understandable. But I think you're working away, you're starting to recognize the good parts. That's why you can't walk away, because you're kind of recognizing the good things about what happened. And that's fine, And you're really recognizing that certain things are not meant for you. Certain things are not, you know, there's other things that will be a lot easier, that will be for you. And you're manifesting those opportunities. You don't want something that's going to give you the Page of Wands energy. You want something that's going to move you towards this Queen of Wands energy. That's going to be on your level, you know. But there is some kind of, there's still an attachment there. There's still that there. I think somebody might have not been very good to you. And that's why you're just kind of, who do I trust? And then you've got the devil. As I say, who do you trust? Yeah, it's almost like there is some kind of obsession or something that is very, very addictive for you to go back to, considering with this 8 of Cups, 6 of Cups, which is the memories, and then we have the devil. So there's something here about you being able to see how this affects you. It's almost like, you know, when you're in a group of people and then you start behaving a certain way, like a way that you would never dream of behaving if you were on your own. But then it happens, and then when you come away from it, then you're realizing and you're like, wow, that's it. Sometimes that might not even happen though. It might not happen for years, until years later, until you're so far away and removed from the group that happens. I've got a little bit of a feeling about that. There may be that sense, because this guy's got these kind of like, they're almost like buttons in his eyes. And that reminds me of a joke that my meditation teacher said. But like, no, actually it's dice. They're dice. So it's almost like you're taking a chance on what you're seeing. But the reality is that you're on this goat, which has got these heels. I love the heels. They're so fantastic. Oh, gosh. Anyway. I do enjoy the devil card. It is one of my favourites. Just generally in the whole deck. I just like it. I think that's because I'm a Capricorn moon. But I do like the devil card. It's fun. It's very dangerous, but it's fun. See, I've so succumbed to the devil. But it's that, do you know what I mean? Like, so if you kind of, you're like, oh, you know, it's just fun. It's just good. You know, it's quite nice. But really, is it? I mean, if we look at the real shadow aspects of the devil, it's not nice at all. It's awful. It's addiction. It's compulsive behavior. It's obsession. It's all of those things. But then when you're there, it's like, oh, it's okay. It's just one thing. And I'm used to this. I know how to deal with this, you know. Oh, yeah, I can't walk away. So there may be some addictions, some behaviors that you may be trying to walk away from that will be difficult to get away from in this year. But with that victory card there, it seems to me that you've gained a different insight. With these also upright, all your animal totems are upright. And it's almost like you have to take a more kind of chilled aspect to it, even if, right, and this is just a random thing and will only be relevant to a few of you, but if you're trying to give up something like that, because I know a lot of people who smoke it, and I know a lot of people, and it's quite, you know, it's legal in the US and stuff, and in a few, and it's just growing in popularity compared to how it was 30 years ago, and or even 10 years ago now, and that, even the medicine of that card, it says that, you know, if you tend to overuse it, it goes one way or the other, as do all kind of, certain substances, be it alcohol, be it smoking, anything, shopping, exercise, anything that you can get obsessed with. So this might be also the year where you start to recognize that it is an obsession. Awareness is the first key in this respect. So that seems to me like the gift that you're getting for the next year, because you might watch this a different year. But yeah. Let's see what else I'd like to pull for you. Do I want to pull you another deck of cards? Yeah, we can do. Let's do that. So I'm going to clarify this 5 of Swords. What's this 5 of Swords? This defeatist. So the High Priestess. Yeah, there's an awareness. There's an awareness in the defeats, in the things that you haven't been able to come forward. We've got Owl as well. So there's just a lot of bird energy you've got here. Pile 1. Lots of bird energy. I'm seeing the wings on the devil as well. And the idea of the devil really is the fallen angel as well. So there's something about a fall from grace. And you know what I just got as well from that discrimination card? When you start to move into a life where maybe you were in an addictive phase and now you're moving into a less addictive phase, there may be a sense of discrimination that you have against the very people that you used to align with. And then that's something also that may be needing to look at, because that can also be the shadow side of Gemini. So yeah, just be aware of that. But I honestly think that your awareness and your perception is dramatically increasing. And for cannabis to come up like upright, that says to me that you need to chill out, which is almost like the other way. So it's almost like allowing some kind of freedom, some safety, some love, essentially. Actually, there's another deck I want to use, but I might get that out in a second. So then we've got the Page of Wands is clarified by the 8 of Buttons Mastery. So yeah, this is all about you. This year is not about you compromising to anyone else, about you just going for what you want rather than what others want. So let's have a look at the 8 of Cups, Judgment. Nice. So we've got like some really good, this is really great. I just feel like you're really, I wouldn't say you're awakening, Pile 1. I would say that you are leveling up. So 2023 is about you leveling up. Or the next year, you may be watching this, in a different year. But the next year is going to help you to level up. Make more of what you're doing. And the thing is that when you're on this journey, it may seem as if you're stepping backwards, particularly when something like this Devil card comes up. But I'm not seeing this as bad. I'm seeing this as more of a realization. You may not be able to stop just yet, okay? And I give you that because you're trying. You're doing your best. But it's, it's one thing, when you start to peel this onion of like awareness and going on this journey, on this shadow work journey, it's never over. And then when you get to a certain point, it's upkeep. So this is a really good opportunity for you to see where you've come. And, I was watching something on Instagram about this guy who stayed with this monk for many years. He stayed with him for a couple of months, but he was like one of the most hardcore monks that were out there. And he learned about insight, like he did insight meditation. And in that, he realized that, oh God, have I forgotten the point that I was going to make? I might have to think about that again. But it's almost, the yardstick of you being able to understand how far you've come is about your tolerance to the things that triggered you in the past. So there's all this like fancy terms of saying the word trigger. But really and truly, when we think about our triggers, do we react to them and say that we're triggered? And then or can we make it not our trigger anymore? Do you know what I mean? How do we become immune to that trigger? And that's not from a sense of you numbing yourself with drugs, alcohol, distractions, whatever. It's about you understanding and seeing how that trigger works within you and understanding why it does that and addressing that situation. So, yeah. This is what I feel is going on for you, Pile 1. Heartbreaker, jealousy, that's Knight of Cups. Sorry, I always look at the first word with these cards. It's not very easy. Okay. So I think here there's been some kind of, you've realized that you're not going to compromise yourself for anyone else. You can't. You have to really put yourself first. And there is this thing about you healing something within yourself that that may have, that may have brought this experience into your life previously, or like the experiences that you didn't want. You're taking responsibility for it, I see. The Knight of Buttons, so we've got 2 knights here, Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Cups. So with that, and then that's on the 6th, that nothing comes quick. It's about hard work, determination. It's about you taking action. It's about you taking one small step at a time. That's what it's about. Slow and steady wins the race. And then we've got the 10 of Matches. Okay, right, yeah. So you're going to come to a point where you might have to just completely, like, you know, get rid of everything that is connected to this addiction. Whatever it is, you might need to just stop doing what you're doing and just do something completely different. You might need to stop associating with people that are there. You might need to do something completely different. Gabor Mate, who's a leader in the world of trauma, he talked about how in his book, I think it was The Realm of Hungry Ghosts or another one, or he's talked a lot about his addiction that he had to buying CDs and buying music. And that's really interesting. As somebody who deals with addiction and trauma on a regular basis is still having to do that work. So it's that whole thing of you understanding that, you know, you're still subject to this kind of stuff. It never stops, you know. It's just about maintenance. Okay, let me pull you. How many more decks do I have? I've got four sets of cards to pull for you. So let me pull you some goddess and angelic magic. Nike, speed, strength, victory. Again, another victory. You're bound to win for this. You are on the path to right, but you know what I'm getting from this as well? I'm just getting those long distance runners, or even if it's a sprinter. And look, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7. Wow. You definitely a progression. So it's almost like you have to go back to a little bit of an earlier start for you to recognize that. The thing is with Nike is the main thing about victory. She's the goddess of victory. So it's about you being able to believe that you can do this. And that's where the pilgrim comes in. Because the pilgrim is the faith. The absolute faith. With the discrimination reversed, there's a tendency to might not think that you like. How can I believe in something that I can't see? How can I believe in something that is not tangible? But you need to put on the binoculars and go up on that branch and have a look for it, because it's there waiting for you to see it. Even though, you know, there's this kind of stuff that's going on that you're still dealing with, but you're getting over it. You're getting over it. It's just a bit tough with that Gemini. Like, I think reversed. It's very hard. It's almost like plaque, like calcified plaque that you're having to like dissolve. And that is where the cannabis medicine comes in. So it helps you to do that and then gets you rooted and grounded and turns this ivy upside down. But you're making fantastic progress though, pile 1. It's amazing. Beautiful blessings for the new year. And then Archangel Uriel, divine wisdom. Let yourself be open to that divine wisdom because it will truly empower you. It's amazing. Great reading, pile. I'm loving this so far. Love it. Okay, blessings for my beautiful pile 1. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got Cinnabar, I think this is. Oh, you got 3. I'll do them all. So we've got Cinnabar, manifestation, wealth, and inspiration. Known as the alchemist stone, cinnabar is a crystal used to enhance metaphysical abilities. Call in cinnabar's name originated from the Persian word meaning dragon's blood and refers to the tiny red powerful gem sprinkled across the stone. This crystal is powerful in enhancing your life force, giving you the stamina you need to carry out your tasks and go after the things that can feel larger than life. Cinnabar grounds and encourages you while you reach beyond what you believed was possible. Right? Manifestation, wealth, and inspiration, and it's Leo and Mercury. I also want to say that cinnabar is a beautiful stone, but make sure you get like certain things of it because it is poisonous. So, yeah, but it's very good for wealth. Okay, and then we've got Angel Phantom Quartz. Beautiful card there. So, acting as a direct connection to the spiritual realm, Angel Phantom Quartz provides a profound relationship with your spiritual team. It aids in overcoming trauma, addressing inner child wounds, healing repressed memories, and alleviating negative emotions that have been haunting you from the past. With this awareness, Angel Phantom Quartz allows you to release yourself from trapped memories to gain your own personal freedom, empower yourself and write your own story. Despite whatever has happened to you in the past, you owe that to yourself, and that's Capricorn and the moon. Faith, healing and renewal. Beautiful. That's this year is about you renewing yourself, about you allowing yourself to receive the healing that you deserve. I think that's it. You need to dissolve this stuff so that you can make stuff happen for yourself. Do you know what I mean? I think this is garnet. No, it's red jade. Okay, right. So red jade, warrior, individuality, and chi. Unleash your inner warrior. Red jade is a stone of power able to release anger in constructive ways that solves problems. Filled with chi, known as life force in Chinese culture, red jade enhances passion, vitality, and strength. Take action and more decisively. That's a weird sentence. Red jade enhances your courage, protecting and inspiring you as you move forward in your day-to-day life. Use red jade when you are looking to have exponential results, whether it's your finances, business, or with your physical health. Good luck is bestowed onto you, Aries and Venus. So you've got a lot of fire energy there as well. Some things like trying to light a fire up your bum. Oh yeah, we've got another card as well. All right. Didn't see these ones. Okay, right. To close out the reading. Tune. Sing your own tune, and that's number 7. That's number 7. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7. Interesting. Let me just think. What does that add up to? So 3 plus 5, 3 plus 4, 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12. I'm going to add that up and then get back to you. I'll add up all your numbers. So I just added up all your numbers. So you had 3, 4, 5, 6. You had 3, 4, 5, then 3 6s, and then 2 7s, and then that added up to 44, which equals to 8. So in my book, that says that that is the number of strength, and also a really good number to kind of consolidate your workings and move forward towards the end goal. You're quite near. I wouldn't be surprised if you achieve some big stuff this year, pile 1, because your grounding is really, your motivation is really strong. I just get a really direct sense from you, let's say. And there's a feeling that you want to get it right. You want to do it right. You want to do this properly. And you feel, and you're actually working from a space where you know that it's that whole thing of you acting as if this is your last day on earth and you're going for it. And that's what I feel, pile 1. So well done to you. What an amazing blessing for the new year. What an incredible realization. It's amazing that you can't pay for these things and how they just come to you. It's just beautiful. Anyway, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, please do like it. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, please do get in touch for a private reading if you fancy it. But otherwise, Happy New Year. I wish you all the best. Take care and see you in future readings. Bye. Hi, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So New Year's blessings for you. Surrendering to receive. Look at this little otter. It looks like an otter. I think it's an otter. But it's like, okay, I surrender because I need to receive something. So this is about you letting go of something in order and getting rid of the old and allowing the new to come in. Wow. Okay, let's have a look at some of your archetypes. Just some energy. Okay, I just want 1. That'd be really nice. Not 2, not 3, but 1. If I get 2, then yeah, that's okay, but just 1. Okay, you got 2. So we've got the Pathless, and then we've got the Enchanter. Wow. Why did I just get that you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, pile 2? Blessings. We want to know what the blessings are. So the blessings at the moment I can see is that there's kind of this free nature from that you imbue, or freedom nature, or there's just something very enchanting about you. There's something very alluring about you. But it's almost like there's a sense of the blind leading the blind. So how do you And I don't know, when you connect into this space with flow, so what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing this kind of ribbon that is around the fire with the hand, and then I'm seeing this image here, and then I'm also seeing this gold hand which is in the middle. And it's almost like there's times when you really know where you're going and what you're doing and how you can do things, but it's almost like it's a real task for you to allow that, to surrender that, because there's something here that it may have been that you were a go-getter, you were somebody who is always used to getting what they want, but now this is about you being able to receive something, and that means putting yourself in a vulnerable state, which could be very challenging, and it kind of sets you a bit adrift, or you may think that it's, you know, why would I want to do that? Because I'm so used to kind of doing things by myself and on my own. I don't know, I've just watched something on avoidant attachment style, so I don't know if that's influencing this reading, but I do get that sense of that you're, in order to surrender to receive, and that be something that you have to really think about, you're in a position of where you're consistently active, whereas this is a position of suppliance. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, let's get you some animal totem as well. And then otters as well. Otter is about commitment. But then there's something about you doing things on your own so well that there's a bit of a fear about that. And it's almost like the universe is saying, it's okay, just relax. I've got you. Oh, pile 2. And then the dragon. And it's reversed. Now, what I'm seeing by this, I'm just seeing that energy of somebody who is immense. Somebody who knows what to do, how to manage things, how to live their life, how to survive without anyone else. They're able to do what they need to do, but to receive it from other people is quite a challenge. Companionship with the moon in Libra. It's interesting because I feel like you have got a good friends group, pile 2. I feel like you do have people that you can connect with. But I do feel like you might be there for them more than you allow them to be there for you. You know, it's easier. It's easier to give than it is to receive. And that's what I'm getting from that dragon energy reversed. It's almost like the gift from this year is to allow yourself to receive the gift. That's what the blessings are. Allowing yourself to receive. How do you allow yourself to receive when you're so used to being self-sustainable, self-reliant? How do you do that? How do you do that? It's tough. It's a lesson. But I'm looking at your gift. So it's almost like the universe wants to give you a gift, and it's saying, can you just get out of your own way so that we can give it to you, because you're so amazing and the universe wants to give you this gift. That's what it's saying. It's saying that it loves you. Okay, so we've got Virgo. I analyze. Is that the only card? Yeah. So I'm going to rearrange these cards in a second, but I'm just going to go through them first. There's a very self-sufficient energy here, pile 1 and pile 2. Very self-sufficient. You do not like other people and other things. You know, you just very self-sufficient, not self-serving. Other people, you serve other people better than you do yourself. Okay, so we've got 2 cards here. We've got the Witch's Garden, and then we've also got the Dragon Tree. Dragon twice. This is about power. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's almost like you have to step back to receive your power. Pile 2. That's what has to happen, because it's like it wants to come to you. It's waiting to come to you. And there's this thing that you're not allowing yourself for it to come to you. And I don't think it's very hard. I think it's something to do with also your friends, because you've also got this here. I don't know if you feel like it's essential that you know what direction that you're going in most of the time, like you need to know. You might not need to know, but I get a sense that you might feel like you want to know most of the time. You want to know where you're going, you want to know what you're doing, you want to know how organized you are. But with that surrender to receive, it's almost like not embodying the true power of the dragon. It's almost like going to the immature version of the dragon, which is the one that just believes in the force, the power, the left brain kind of activity, where you're doing things that are, quite in, they're just, it's all practical. Do you know what I mean? It's all practical, ego driven. Not to say, and the ego is not a bad thing. I'm just saying that this is something that we function within our 3D reality. And what's really interesting with this Witch's Garden, that's the kind of, it's almost like the world card in this deck. So with it being reversed, it's almost like you're not making the opportunity of all of the riches that are in your garden, because it's almost like you're concentrating so tightly on and so intently on one particular aspect of it that you're almost missing the gifts that you've got. With this dragon tree reversed, this is power, Mars, Aries, and then fire and the sun. You've got a lot of intense energy there, but then it's almost the opposite with the Libra and the moon. So, and Earth is also female as well. So it's just that, and also Virgo is female. So there's this sense of like you having to allow yourself to receive. And I think that you think that you're going to sink into a space if it's almost like you can't depend on the people. Interesting. We've got 2, 7 and 9, 6, 8. Okay. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. I'm going to add the numbers up at the end and then see what that comes out as. But yeah, there's something about you relaxing yourself to receive. Let me rearrange these and I'll start with your tarot. Yeah, that dragon tree is a really powerful card, pile 2. Really powerful card. So there's something that wants to make its way to you. That dragon energy wants to make its way to you, and it's not being allowed to. So yeah, let's have a look at what the tarot has to say about this. But what blessings are coming through for pile 2 in the new year? The Knight of Buttons. So that is the Knight. Yeah, mutable Earth. So then that's Virgo. Again, Virgo energy. Then we've got the 7 of Needles, 7 of Needles reversed. That's Aquarius and the Moon. We've got the 2 of Cups, which is Venus and Cancer. And 2 of Cups is reversed. Knight of Needles. So mutable air. So that's mutable Earth, Virgo and Gemini. 10 of Matches. Is Mercury and Virgo. And then the 6 of Matches we have 6 of Matches is Leo and Jupiter. Right, okay, so Sorry, I just had to say those just for my own kind of benefit. But like, with the respect to this Knight of Buttons, there's just something of you understanding that you know you're not going to be one of these people that are going to race ahead. It may be also a fact that you have been consistently meticulous. You've been somebody who dots your I's, crosses your T's. You really make sure that things are just right. And I don't know, this might have gone into overdrive a little bit with a relationship that hasn't worked out. I do feel like your friends have given you the support that you need, but there's still this distrust of people. And it's almost like you're going into a space where you're just kind of going for it. And intellect is kind of taking over. You've got 2 fire cards here, particularly with Sun and that's Jupiter, and the 10 is so you've got Jupiter and Saturn here. So it's almost like you go from a space of where you have decided that you're not, what is it that you're going to take on? What is it that you're going to look at? How are you going to go forward, really? Because you've been quite steady in your outcome and in your kind of approach, and now you're like, right, I need to be honest with myself, because there was something here that put me into a position that I did not want to be in, and I feel really upset that I allowed myself to get into this position, but I'm not going to allow myself to be in that position again, and I'm just going to storm forward. That Gemini energy I'm just feeling is like somebody who just does not want to ever be in that state of pain ever again. They never want to be that. With that 7 of Needles reversed, it kind of gives me the idea of somebody who got shamed, It's almost like there's this sense of shame that you allowed yourself to be in this position by this thing or by this person that you had a close connection with. And what that's allowed you to do is to kind of be a little bit distrustful, which I completely, and also disempowering. I wouldn't be surprised if you were in a situation which was quite stable with this person, and then they messed up your trust. So that's why the Dragon is reversed. That's why the Pathless is there. That's why there's this hyper analysis that's going on. So there's some stuff happening here. So yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. Really interesting. Okay, right, so let me just have a deeper look with the tarot. Blessings for my pile 2. Blessings for my pile 2. Wow, interesting. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. We've got Knight of Swords twice. Once upright and once reversed. Clarifying the Knight of Buttons. So it's... Yeah, the reasoning behind this Knight of Buttons is because you just don't want to, you don't want things to escalate. You want to take things slowly and carefully and considered. You want to be more considered, basically. Then we've got the 8 of Swords, which is Jupiter and Gemini. So there's a lot of Gemini energy. You've also got Jupiter energy. So there is definitely, it's almost like the expansiveness is going to occur in your sense of surrendering to this stuff. Surrendering to where you are, to surrendering to where the position where you are, because with this 8 of Swords, it just kind of feels to me that you're just being a bit more. It's just overly cautious. I think really overly cautious due to some kind of pain. And I don't think that it's too deeply ingrained. I don't think it's something that is going to be a tough thing for you. But I think this is what the year is about. It's about you realizing that you need to let this go. There are some things you're going to have to step back from. There may be some things that you might have to alleviate worry out of and let someone else deal with it and trust someone else to deal with it. Because essentially you're going to be successful in that. It's going to be good for you. It really is. The Hierophant. So with that Taurian energy and building up, and I think that you're building up foundations. This This year is about action, or the year that I'm reading for 2023, but then you can also read this for any year, because this, for you personally, I think this is a year of action, but the type of action that you're taking is not so like you're running a race. It's almost like you're doing small little things to amount to a big sense of action. That's what I kind of get from the Hierophant. And also the Taurian energy, that it's incremental steps that lead to your health and your wealth and your happiness, your security more than anything. There's something very stabilizing about this energy that you want to bring in, but it's almost like you have to let it go in order to allow that. It's really paradoxical, and it may be difficult to get your head around, but that's the blessing that's coming in for the next year. Oh, look at that, 2 of Wands. So you've got Mars and Aries energy, but it's reversed. So then that means that there is a real restructuring of that. You know that if you stay where you are, you know that you're not in a great place. I don't know if you have issues like stomach issues as well. There may be some things going on there. Because if you hold things in and try to work out everything yourself, it sometimes it manifests as digestive issues, and Virgo is digestion. So, and the 10 of, oh wow, okay, so another Sagittarius, 9 of Wands, Sagittarius and the Moon, so Sagittarius and Saturn and then the Moon. There's some definite like blocks here on exploration and letting things go. Pile 2, I'm not gonna lie. Like it's almost like you're very, very worried. Very worried. We've got this kind of like bull energy as well. It's very, very worried. It's almost like you're reluctant to let go. Reluctant to let go of control. 5 of Pentacles reversed. But as soon as you do, look at that. Taurus in Virgo, like Taurus in Mercury. Of course you will with the 5 of Pentacles. It will totally let go. You will be able, and all I see is acclaim here, success, victory with the 6 of matches. Albeit it will be a small victory. It will be something that won't be like, big, but that's how we start. And I think that that's what this journey is about for you. And what this coming year is about. You have to do it small. There's this thing I've mentioned many times in the readings about 10% stretch. Basically, it's a coaching technique that what we do is if we go outside a 10% stretch of our current ability of what we're doing, then if we go outside of that, it becomes petrifying. It becomes something that we cannot even think of doing. But even just the step of taking, so for example, you want to drive a car, but you're quite scared of getting on the road. The first thing to do would be just to get in the car and sit in the car and just to understand how the car is and what it's like to sit in a car. Then maybe you could take the next step and start the car. Do you know what I mean? Then when you start the car, then you can get used to it again, and then you can start to move the car in a space where you don't have to worry about other cars and roads, and then you build up your kind of your confidence in that way. And that's what's going to happen here. This is about you taking that first step, and I think you have everything that you need. And I think definitely with a little help from your friends and the support from the people that are around you are going to really help you this year. Please do allow your friends to help you, because they want to help you, they want to give you that, but sometimes they may seem a little bit scared of you, particularly with that dragon reversed that we see there. So let's have a look at some angelic support. Some goddess support for you for the coming year. Hell, lovely. I love that. Depth, endings, hidden aspects. Wow, a Norse goddess. And yeah, it's letting this go. It's letting it go. And I can see your grip now. Right now, I can see your grip is so tight. Pile 1. It's so, sorry, pile 2. It's so tight. I'm getting all the piles mixed up today. I do apologise. Sorry about that. I do love you. You know that. Violet spectrum. Wow. If you meditate, pile 2, please do meditate. Please do allow yourself to and give yourself the space to do so. It'll be really useful for you. Also, I'm just getting take a bath. Lie in a body of water that allows you to just float. That will really help you. Order, conformity, disarray, rigidity. The first thing that comes to me is the need to be comfortable with disarray. What does order mean to you? And then we've also got 29 as well, which equates to 11. So we've got a master number as well. So I will add that up afterwards. But yeah, there's something about you understanding that the way that you've been doing things is not the way that you want to... Something has to change. Something has to change. And once you see where you're at, then you can understand that a bit better. But you've got small wins. It's small steps for you, pile 2. Small steps. Don't try it as Helen from Eye of the Serpent Tarot says, boil the ocean in one day. Or boil the ocean, which I think is a really good thing, because I'd love to boil the ocean. It'd be really good. Anyway, I wouldn't. I'm only joking. Right, okay, so this looks like an amethyst. Yes. Right, get ready to purify. Amethyst has powerful beneficial properties, including the ability to release addictive behaviors while protecting your energy field. Amethyst is a great crystal to meditate with, as it promotes peace and tranquility between your emotional, physical, and spiritual planes, creating harmony inside and out. It is linked to the crown and third eye chakras, connecting your intuition to the divine source. Bask in the violet rays of amethyst crystal and stimulate your soul. Aquarius, Pisces, Neptune. Neptune and Jupiter. Wow. So, some amethyst for you, my beautiful pile 2. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Beautiful blessings coming in for you. You just gotta let it come to you. Let it come to you. It's almost like all of the stuff that you've been working for, and now it's like time to enjoy it. It's time for you to really feel that you deserve it and that you enjoy it, because you really do, pile 2. So happy new year, my darlings. If you like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, you have a beautiful new year's. I'm wishing you all the best. Yeah, I'll see you in future readings. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So blessings for the new year. Let's see what is in store for you. Now, this small steps, big accomplishments, it's like one tiny step at a time, and then slowly you realize that you've climbed a mountain. It's a really beautiful thing. And I feel that you're starting to see the fruits of your accomplishments. You're starting to see what it is that's coming into play, how you start to manifest your presence in the world right now. And it's because you've been taking small steps. People may not have seen this. This may be something that is not really visible to the outside world. They may not be able to see just the small steps. But when you look back on what you've done, and then you realize, wow, I've amassed all this knowledge, or I've actually gotten to a stage where I actually feel really accomplished in a way, or I actually feel that I've done something, I've achieved something. I've looked back and like, wow, each step, even though it may have been quite challenging at the time, you're still there, you're still at this space. So that's really interesting. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the oracles from the Citadel Oracle. Okay, I'm only going to take the ones that have come up again. Wow, you got the same as pile 2 with the Pilgrim, and then you've also got the Fate. So what this says to me is that it was almost fated that you took these steps, these small steps, to kind of to kind of conquer the world. I really feel that and even though this says the Fate and the weaving of the fate, I really do feel like you have taken charge of your own destiny, and you've done it in a space where you've treated it like a real something sacred. Pile 3. God, I've been calling all the piles different piles, so I'm sorry about that. But pile 3, it seems to me like I'm just hearing like that poem, you are the master of your fate, you are the captain of your soul, you're the master of your destiny. So it's almost like that you know how to manage your own fate by allowing yourself to surrendering to your limits at the time and taking just one step at a time. Beautiful. These messages are all so beautiful. Beautiful things coming for you. Oh, wow. Look at that. Another turtle. So we've got turtle and the butterfly. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know if that's because of people, like, with that turtle being reversed, it's almost like there's this sense of not feeling like you've achieved enough. Or other people, the response from other people or people outside of your situation is not really people can't see the kind of, not the good, but they can't see your achievement, they can't see what you're doing, and they kind of like think, oh, they kind of think, what are you doing? What are you doing? The one thing I am getting here though, as it's reversed, which I just looked up quickly, is that you may slow down completely to a halt. You may not even move forward. And I think you kind of know, like, taking that step, being methodical, and also remembering that the journey is like a pilgrimage, and what will be will be. But just be aware of that, okay? And ask yourself, why are you stopping, if that's the case? Could you go a little bit faster? I'm not saying that you have to, but I'm just saying, is there somewhere where you think that you can make a move and then you don't make a move because there's like a sense of, like, I wouldn't say it's overcautiousness, but it's just sometimes you just don't move because there's a sense you might not be bothered to or motivated to. But motivation is just a mindset. It's what we actually do with it. So you could, I think this is you're finding that this works for you. But there has been possibly times where you've ended up just like slowing down to an absolute halt. I do see that this may have been a possibility for you to, or you had to do this in order to transform into this butterfly. And I also feel like there is an understanding that this is quite fleeting. The life of the butterfly, the life cycle, it spends more of its time as a caterpillar than it does of a butterfly. So this is quite fleeting. And you kind of know that it's almost like, I know that I need to enjoy this time. But you do still have to keep on moving. You can't just slow down to a halt. So, but that's what's happening. It's almost like you really understand your journey, pile 3. You've really understood it, and it's almost like you've not even controlled, you understand the ebbs and flows of what fate has had to offer you, and you've worked with it. That's remarkable. I love that. Love that, pile 3. Blessings for my lovely pile 3. Okay, so we've got ostentation, which is Saturn in Taurus, and number 2. Let me just double check that, my loves. So the main thing I'm getting from that card is that it's some kind of focus on the material. And I don't know, what I'm getting really is a sense of frugality that has gotten you so far. But don't let that disable you into a space where you don't move at all. That's what I'm thinking, because it's reversed. So sometimes there can be like an overbearing sense of frugality, which is totally understandable in this day and age, what's going on right now with the financial climate. It's totally understandable. But it may be something for you to think about coming forward into this new year. Okay, you got 2. Wow, you got cannabis, just like pile 2, and then you also got lavender. So with these 2 reversed, you may be using substances to escape into a space so that you can kind of like numb the idea of you not moving forward, or that you are, it's almost like you're enjoying the journey very much. You might be indulging in certain things which are allowing you to enjoy in that world. And Yeah, because with that cannabis card reversed, I'm just getting the idea of indulging too much in things that would allow us to have that sense of freedom. With lavender reversed, there's a lack of clarity, which is really interesting because you've got such strong, you know, these are really strong. But then with the turtle reversed and then these reversed, it's almost like there's a need to refocus on the kind of spiritual aspect of things, on the reasoning, not just why, but if you've got such a methodical instance about or like just, you know, you're just taking one step at a time. I understand that it could be something that has always worked for you. But I think this year, particularly with it being a chariot year, and also, I mean, obviously this is timeless, but just with me thinking out loud in the respect of reading for 2023, I'm just thinking of you. This is a chariot year, so it's about movement. It's about you going forward and taking things into action. It's not about you being complacent and taking your time. This is about you coming forward. And as I said, like, I'm not trying, because obviously what you've done before has worked, but there are just some little things here with these that you would go even further if you took this into account. Do you know what I'm getting though? I'm getting a little bit wine, you know, even though we do have vine as one of the cards, but I am getting like wine as well. So you may be drinking as well to kind of help yourself to navigate this. There may be indulgences and pleasures I'm feeling in order to like enjoy life, you know, but there's something that needs to come in that's a little bit more sacred about how we understand those material kind of needs and wants, more so, not needs, material wants. You've got that here as well. So yeah, there's something about material wants that's kind of a little bit overtaking in a way. Oh wow, so then we've got earth element stability. So I don't know, pile 2, if there is something that I just looked at the clock and it was 11:11. If there is something that you're, you know, slow and steady, yes, it wins the race, but are you truly creating something that is stable? You know, even though you are getting a lot done. And I think if you're going to do this thing of where you want to like really go forward and really take things forward, and it seems like, you know, you're destined for great things, there's a real sense of stability that needs to go on here, a real sense of it. It needs to kind of like work in a way that, you know, if you're going to gear yourself up for success, it needs to have a really grounded base, And what's starting to happen is that you're realizing that you can accomplish massive things by not doing very much. And that can like breed to some apathy. So the best thing to do is to kind of make sure it's grounded so that you're not just kind of flitting it away. That's what I'm getting here. And there's a bit of a lack of clarity here with the lavender reversed, and also with the earth element of stability being reversed. So anyway, let's move on to your tarot and have a little deeper look into this. Okay, so let's have a little look at what the tarot has to say about this. Blessings for my pile 3, blessings for my pile 3 in the new year. 6 of birds reversed, 5 of trees reversed. Spirit plane, which is number 7, that's the chariot. What was I just saying about the chariot year? Also the shapeshifter reversed, which is the Knight of Wands reversed. The 6 of embers. So we have 2 6s here. Oh, why not? I'll give you 2. And then we have the 4 of lotuses and the 7 of trees. Yeah, there's definitely something that's being slightly overlooked here. I'll do things in my own time, and I'll do what I want to do. Nobody can tell me what I want to do. That's what I'm getting. I just got that really strongly. And, you know, there's a message that's not being allowed to come through because of this. It's almost like a kind of stage of evolution. You're in this butterfly stage, which is really wonderful, but there's something about the turtle that's, it's almost like maybe you think that you've done enough. Five of Trees reversed, Five of Pentacles reversed. You're experiencing some kind of abundance anyway. I feel that you're kind of finally getting something. You're, as I said, seeing rewards of what you've had and what you've done. You're already seeing that. And it might have happened pretty fast, because that butterfly energy tells me that, you know, it was quick. And when we referred to that whole life cycle, it was pretty quick. But then when we go into the shapeshifter energy, it's almost like there's a hesitancy with the wands, the Knight of Wands. Like, it's a holdback. It's almost like, you know, like a firecracker that hasn't gone off. I'm getting the idea of. The Six of Embers, the Six of Wands. That is, I think that's Venus in Leo. Let's have a look. No, it's Jupiter in Leo. So there is definitely that expansiveness. There is also some ego that I can see here. So, I mean, the main message here is not to count your chickens, pile 3. It seems like you have achieved a lot, and you are starting to see the fruits of it. But with this Seven of Pentacles here, Seven of Trees, it just kind of says to me that, you know, there's this complacency that could happen, and you don't want to be within that. You know, this is Saturn in Taurus. We want this kind of idea of where we're not, we want more. We want to go for more than that. And there's something, you know, and it's taking you this long to get to this position. But now you're going to have to do something different in order to get more, you know. It's almost like you're leveling up. And I think that was the same for pile 1, actually. There's a level up going on here. And what you've done has got you really far and got you done really well for you. And it's really got you in a good position. But now you're having to take some next steps now. You're having to take, like, yeah, you're going to have to think differently. With that Aquarius and... you know, Venus, Aquarius and Mercury vibe that's going on here. With it being reversed, it means that there's something that you are limiting yourself in the respect of what you're thinking about, approaching new ideas and new paradigms. It's almost like, well, this has worked for me for this amount of time, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to continue to do this. And I think I was quite nervous about telling you that initially, but it actually is confirming it here, that it is stopping you from being able to move on to the next stage. And it's because you've managed to get this sense of financial security. This is Cardinal Earth. So Cardinal Earth. Sorry about this. I'm just having a look at what these. So Capricorn and... No, it's not. It's not Cardinal Earth. It's Fixed Earth. So we have... It's Taurus again. So we've got Taurus again. Here, Taurus again in Mercury. So is that the same as that? Taurus in... No, that's Taurus in... Sorry about this, my friends. So that's Taurus in Mercury, Taurus in Saturn. Okay. So I think it's really important, like, for you to understand that there's something about you, there's a stubbornness going on right here. The Five of Trees reversed and the Seven of Trees reversed, and there's an overhaul that's needed. And I've got a feeling that it might get taken out of your hands, because it's also like guided by your intuition, with this being Cancer. Shapeshifter is mutable fire, so like, you know, Sagittarian energy, but it's almost like you're fighting against that. I feel there's a bit of that, but you do also have Jupiter here as well. So there's this real kind of encouragement for you to do this work. With the Four of Cups reversed, I mean, you know, that's Cancerian energy, but it's also the moon energy. So it's almost like you're working, that there is a little bit of work to do here. But the Chariot there, I don't know, I feel like meditation will be really good for you, which is ironic because then that means that you do sit still. But like, it could be that, or it could be you getting into your body and moving. So maybe that might be your meditation. If you do exercise or anything like that, that might be really useful for you. So what the overall energy I'm getting here is that you've this year, you're going to see that you're going to need to take a different tack in order to achieve the next level. Because it's almost like this is so familiar to you as well, that's another thing I get, like with the apathy, complacency kind of vibe. And not only that, it's not getting you the things that you really want. It's almost like you want to move beyond that, but you have to do something different. But doing that's uncomfortable, right? How do we do that? It's quite difficult to change. Okay, let's see. Pile 1. Okay, so we've got the Five of Swords. Interesting. Five of Swords. So Aquarius and Venus. And look, from the Five of Swords to the Six of Swords. So in order for you to go into that Six of Swords space, you go back to the Five of Swords and admit defeat about what you're cheating yourself on. And it may be dealing with some kind of pain because of these Three of Swords that are here. Five of Trees. There's just an opportunity to rest here. And look, the pure Sagittarian energy is coming through that that you weren't able to get before. With that. Is that correct? No. Hold on. Well, I mean, the Sagittarian energy here is a little bit afflicted. So, that will really help with the balance of that. Okay, let's have another look. Spirit plane. Knight of Cups. You're being really realistic about this. You're not being, there's no romanticizing. There's no kind of, you've got two knights here reversed as well. So there's a block on your action here. It's almost like you taking initiated, decisive action. There's something that you might be allergic to about it. That's the only way I can describe it. It's almost, yeah, you have to recoup, reconfigure, re-strategize. There's something that you need to look at again because, that just taking one step at a time is ingrained in you. Because you've mastered this aspect so well about you taking small steps that now you can take a little bit bigger steps now, but you're a bit nervous about it, particularly with this Knight of Cups and the Shapeshifter. I'd be thinking, even your thoughts would be that way, but let's see if we get any more knights. Okay, we've got the Ace of Cups. So it's giving you time to recoup. It's giving you time to really, really, really appreciate what it is that you want. And that's the benefit of that. It really is. It really is. But I just get a sense it's time to move. You have to move now. Three of Pentacles reversed. I think it may be because that you've done this on your own. You haven't done it with other people. It's been quite difficult to achieve with other people. And it's been mainly you on your own, and you can go at your own pace. You can do things your own way. Yeah. Four of Lotuses, Page of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, it's a sense of commitment, which is interesting because even though you're going slow and taking small steps, is there direction here? That's what I'm getting. Even though you've made steps, there just seems to be the direction. Where are you going? Where are you going? And that's what the medicine of the next year is going to bring you. You've achieved a lot. Now what are you going to do with it? You've achieved some great things by doing what you're doing, and you might not have even been aware of it. But it seems like you've got something to look through and now work through. I just need one. Just one. They got an extra card anyway. Okay, Page of Wands. Wow, Page of Wands. So from the Knight of Wands to the Page of Wands. So it's almost like you're taking a couple of steps back in order to like go forward again. So I feel like you're launching yourself in a way. Good. That's good. This is going to be the perfect time for you to do that. For you to like review. So what I would do is I would do like a year review about what's gone on for the year, what you think you've achieved, what you'd like to achieve, what you'd like to happen. And then think about this kind of like setback or this pause as almost the kind of the launch of like when you're throwing, like, you know, like when you do those catapults, like pulling it back. Same like with an arrow as well. So let's get you some goddess support. Ishtar, number 3. Okay, wow. So just we've got 11, we've got 8, we've got 6, we've got 6 again. So we've got 2 6s, we've got 2, we've got 5. Oh, sorry, no, I'm not looking at these actually. No, I won't be looking at the tarot because otherwise we'd be here all day. So yeah, just those numbers. Okay, cool. And then we've got 3. So feminine power, sexuality, and heaven on earth, Ishtar. So Ishtar is one of the oldest goddesses in Mesopotamia. And there's probably something very ancient about you, Pile 3. That's probably why this kind of sense of you taking these small steps. You've probably learned from before that you taking fast steps, it doesn't work, or that, you know, you're going to do things your own way because of past experiences. It's the way that you kind of cope. I think now there's a sense of you understanding that that's still present. It's always going to be there, but what the step is now there's something for movement, for you to move forward. And I don't think that there is, like, you can be confident that there isn't this sense of frivolity around it. There is a sense of maturity around it. It's just going to take some time because you've got 2 pages here. So there's still some kind of energy to work through in terms of true commitment and understanding and learning how that works out. And this 7 of Pentacles is also a really interesting card because this is like, you've got these like stalls that are set up here, and then you've got this page here, which kind of says to me that this is definitely you seeing where your market is, seeing where things are, seeing how you can sell yourself, how you can manifest yourself in a productive way. And Wands is fast. It's no longer the Pentacles. The Pentacles is actually, I don't know, there's this energy of you moving so slowly that your focus goes over the place. So with faster energy, you can actually direct your energy clearer. Okay, and then we've got Archangel Sandalphon. Again, this orangey, peachy, pinky colour. So, which I'm kind of attributing to the Wands energy. So the Song of Divine Purpose. So I think there's a sense of trust as well. Sense of love and trust that you need to believe that not everyone is out to get you. And I think that, you know, and I don't even think that you think that. I just think it's just this idea of going really slow. Get a move on. There's no need for you to be so slow. Or not even get a move on. I even think I can even hear the resistance coming from you saying, but it's worked for me, so why would I want to change it, Reena? But then what I would say is that, would you not like things to go a bit faster? And then you might say to me, oh, well, no, not really. It's fine the way, well, actually, yeah, I wouldn't mind, but it's working for me. And I would just encourage you to look at that. Just look at that. I'm not going to, you know, not going to dictate to you anything. It's just in the respect of like how you could maybe just put it into a new paradigm. And also, please do remember, take these readings with a pinch of salt. They are not medical advice. They are not any kind of, you know, it's just an opinion of the cards. I'm just really happy that you've come and seen me here. And this is what the blessing of the new year is wanting to give to you. It's saying that what you've done, what you've been doing has worked so well, but now it's time for a gear change. Language, articulate. I could have done with that. Language, articulation, silence, affectation. And we've got a parrot on the phone. Wow, that's really cool. I like that a lot. So with that, it's almost like knowing what is the right thing to say, when to say it, how to articulate ourselves, how to communicate ourselves in a space. Very much with your own movement, that is very indicative of your own space as well, and about how you command a space, how you communicate within a space. Language doesn't have to be just words. It could be also body language, the way that you interact with people, the way that you are communicating yourself in a space without any words. So that's also something to think about. So to close out the reading, I will pull you some gem magic, some crystal magic or crystal support for the year ahead. I mean, you may be very good at talking as well. You may be very, very good at talking things, and maybe even talking yourself out of a few things. But what I'm getting is that there's other ways of articulating yourself. So, is this obsidian? Yes. Okay, right, so we've got obsidian, shadows, mirror, amorphous, a dark and mysterious crystal. Obsidian reaches into the depths of our shadows, shedding light on what needs to be healed in order to move forward. Obsidian serves as a mirror, revealing our deepest truths. Obsidian crystalline structure is amorphous, moving beyond conventional time to dip into the past, present and future, and wielding great power to clear any obstacles. Use obsidian as a shield against psychic attacks and to ground your base chakra planet back to the planet Earth. And it's Sagittarius and it's Saturn. What was I saying about Sagittarius? That Sagittarian energy with temperance. Bring it. And also, right, if any of you have got like a black mirror, which is made out of obsidian, if you do any kind of scrying work in that kind of sense, there's a really good exercise that I got taught by a Toltec, by a Mayan practitioner. And you can look in the mirror to kind of get rid of things for yourself, like get rid of all the negative kind of aspects of yourself and to face your shadow self. And there's something about you staring in the mirror for a while and looking at that mirror, but then, and you also do it in the dark, so you do it when it's quite dark and you can hardly see yourself in the mirror. You see kind of the blackness of the images. But what you do is when you look in the mirror, you turn your head to the right and then you raise your head so that you don't look into the mirror as you turn your head back to the left. But then when you initiate the movement by turning your head to the center of the mirror, looking at the mirror, and then kind of like looking for the shadow parts of yourself and looking to release it into the mirror. And then you turn away to your right. Then when you want to turn your neck back to the left, you actually you make sure that you don't look in the mirror, and then you turn again. So almost like you're making a semicircle with your head. And you do that until you're ready, until like, I would say just do it until, see what happens, and just do it for a period of time for you to like dispel that negative energy. It might be very good, a shadow self even, not because you're not dispelling it, you're integrating it. And also I think if you were to do it tonight, when this or on the eve of the new year, when you want to, after you've watched this reading, it might be really useful for you because of the power of the idea of a lot of people celebrating that time, or in this particular time zone, for 1 year, 1 day of the year of last year, the 31st to the 1st. My articulation is not good at all today. Sorry about that, my friends. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, thank you for being here. I wish you the happiest of New Year's. I'm sending you lots of love and blessings. And I'll see you in the new year, 2023. That will be my next reading. But otherwise, for those of you who are watching after that, may your new year be full of blessings and happiness. You take care, my darlings, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.